Hash House and Circle Up.
Welcome to On, the Hash House Harrier podcast for interviews, history, and stories. I'm your host, Ra.
Today on the podcast, we're in Florida with a longtime hasher with some exciting news coming up this weekend. InterAmericas hash. This weekend in New Orleans, there's rumored to be 1 to 3 bidders for InterAmericas 2020. And our guest today, thanks for the Mammaries, has been a longtime hasher. Lots of Interam history herself and lots of Interam she's attended. So we'll find out who she is and what's going to happen with the Orlando bid for Interam 2027. Hi, Mammaries.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for the Mammaries here. I am the GM of the committee bidding for the next Interam 2027. We're bidding for Orlando as a Central Florida location. Many kennels actually supporting our bid, not just the other Orlando. There are several kennels in Central Florida. So we decided to make a bid that included pretty much all of Central Florida. So we're excited.
Give people a little bit of background of you and Interam a little bit first before we dig into those details. When and where did you start hashing?
Okay. I started hashing in 1999 in Orlando. I've been to InterAmericas hash since Austin in Orlando. I just received my 500 trail mug and my 75th herring patch on the same day, actually. At any rate, I was on mismanagement in Orlando for 12 years. I recently retired and backed up from mismanagement a little bit, but I'm still an active hasher in the Orlando area. So,
yeah, it might be good to be retired if you're going to be GM of an interhash. If that may help. You also have some personal history with Interam.
Some people may remember I won Miss InterAmericas in Puerto Vallarta. I won Miss Interam hash, and then I hosted the next Interam competitions for Miss Interam for 3 different events after that. So I'm very intimately involved with InterAmericas, and Orlando hosted a trail at Savannah. And myself and my cohort down and dirty were pretty much in charge of running the trail in Savannah. And so we knew then what it's like to be involved in InterAmericas.
Okay, I may ask you one ballpark question. Why in the world would people want to host InterAmericas? It's a giant event.
It is definitely a giant event. As we go in this undertaking, we're finding it out even more and more every day. The reality is, though, we like this event. We enjoy the fact that InterAmericas encompasses North America, South Central America, Canada, and the United States. It can get us all together. It's notoriously been a bigger event than our NAT has. So we decided that we would like to see the InterAmericas hash event continue. And recently, speaking specifically about Colombia, we haven't had an InterAmericas hash since 2019. Since that time, Eurohash has had 2. Asia hash has had 2. Africa hash. Everybody on their continents have had their hashes except for InterAmericas. So we decided together that we wanted this tradition to continue, and somebody has to step up and make it continue. We would like to encourage everybody with healthy kennels and surrounding area kennels to present bids. Please, for the next InterAmericas, we're going to need bids going forward if we're going to keep this event alive. And we voted to keep this event alive. So 2 years ago, we put together an LLC, and 2 years ago, we got together a committee and decided, can we even do this? And after much deliberation, we decided we're healthy. We have enough people involved that we want to present a bid to host the InterAmericas hash.
Like you said, things went bad in Colombia. What assurances and what have you already done to say, hey, there's no risk here of anything going crazy like that?
So we've talked about that a lot in our group, and we feel like some of the problem with Colombia is there was really not that many people involved we have made it a point to put many people on our committee with various backgrounds from different kennels all over the United States, but also we have the support of all of Central Florida kennels. So if something happens to one person or even two on our committee, our event will continue. This event will go on. It's already rolling and we have a lot of people involved. So no matter what happens, we plan to carry out the event, even if one or two people are no longer part of our committee. Likewise, another issue with Columbia, the financial part, as our treasurer or hash cash, we have a certified public accountant. Down and Dirty is a certified public accountant. Our goal is to make our Interam extremely transparent. We have already set up and established and purchased QuickBooks and linked it to our account, which actually people can be added to or see our QuickBooks easily. We can notify any committee who wants to check it or just us ourselves. We have multiple people on our bank account. We have 3 people on our bank account. We have 3 people in our LLC. So if one thing happens to one person, we have safeguarded that to assure that the whole thing doesn't come crashing down.
Yeah, hopefully the only thing that happens to anybody is maybe some other people retire, so they have lots of time to do this. What about the finances? Things have changed since you started hashing, and certainly since InterAmericas. The risk, the costs of things. It's a whole different ballpark doing it in the States with costs of hotel, transportation, everything. How much do you think it's going to cost? Things just go up, or the earlier
Things have gone up tremendously. So we are guided by online in 𝐎𝐧's website. Go to the hash. There's a page at the bottom for InterAmericas, and it talks about our InterAmericas charter. And on that charter, it gives a guideline of costs. We have found this to be less than half of what the actual costs actually are. We believe that this is so out of date. At this point, we barely can reference it, but we use it as a guideline for areas to budget. But at the same time, it's just prices have gone up so much. Also, hotels since COVID tell us over and over, 4 different hotels have told us nobody can handle their food and beverage. So in the past, we've been able to serve ourselves. You might remember even in New Zealand at the hockey rink, hashers were able to go up to the beer taps and serve themselves out of their own mugs. That is not possible in the United States anymore. I was told this was because of COVID, but for whatever reasons, the hotels are really sticklers about this now. So you have to hire their food and beverage programs. These food and beverage programs are insanely expensive to the hotels. We were trying desperately to avoid that. We looked at several hotels to host us as a venue, but we have since decided to do it more like Canada did it, Toronto did it, more like Winter Park did it, and more Savannah did it, where we have a venue off site and we do our own food and beverage, because this has been crazy getting this food and beverage. The estimates we've received from one of the Marriotts we talked to was larger than our entire budget. So we did some math. If you really want to know what we did is we took the last Interam that did not include lodging. So the boat included lodging. So we didn't count the boat. So going back, that makes Phoenix, which is 2027. So we'll be 10 years from that time at the inflation rate of 30% in 10 years. If you take 269, that gives you about $80 increase. So we're increasing it to 369 because, again, we still have 2 more years of inflation and we're uncertain where this economy will take us.
That's right. The money goes in now and it may even buy less. But you guys feel this is good value, right?
We still do. We use still food and beverage for Friday, for Saturday, and for Sunday is our goal. A gimme and trails. And remembering trails for this many people includes busing to and from the location, the venue, plus beer and beverages at the location, plus your hair transportations and things like that. Definitely, you're still getting a good value. This would be a whole weekend of food, beverage, camaraderie, trails. We still believe hashing is still the best value I think as we all head to New Orleans and spend time out in the quarter buying drinks, we're going to find out how much it really costs.
What about capacity? Sometimes we hear about, oh, we may cap it and registration and transfers. Is that stuff all going to work? You've been through it all. What hashers do, there'll be people keen to buy, keen to pay on day one if you win the bid. Then they'll want to transfer, sell their rego and all that stuff and worry about getting in, or they panic buying because they're worried there's a cap. What do you expect, or what do you think about all that?
Well, we know the price might deter some people, but for people that want InterAmericas to continue, they're going to have to just grapple with this is the new cost of doing business. Having said that, we have decided to cap at 1,000, and we will cap at the first 1,000 paid. We're going to cap at the first 1,000 paid. We've set up a contingency plan to pay. We've set it up this way. 2 months will be the payment. So you will have all of November and all of December to pay the early bird Rego price of $369. At the first of the year, January 1st, if you have not paid, we will bump you from the registered list down to a waiting list. If we have people on the waiting list already, they will move up and be eligible to pay. And then the price will go up first to $400 by the first of the year. We planned on increasing it at least as every 6 months after that. But for now, we're going to start with $369, and that's an early bird pricing until January 1st, 2026.
Have people already signed up?
So right now, we've had our website up and running for almost a year now, and we've definitely had over 200 people. I believe yesterday we were at 217. But we are excited that these people are supporting us in our bid. There's not a pay link per se yet. It actually is going live today, but we're not encouraging people to pay until we win the bid. My accountant down in Dirty she doesn't want to give refunds if we don't win the bid. So she doesn't want anybody to pay till then, but we did want to link our accounts and make sure it was working. So we tested it. At any rate, these are the things we've been doing to be ready on the day of. If we win the bid, the next day, it's interesting. We're not sure when they will be announcing the bid. I understand that they say they will announce it on Saturday. I think they may not be sure how they're counting that yet. At any rate, it could be the next day. So it could be on the 2nd is when we start taking payments. But you can re-go at any time.
If people want to go in and say, I want to be on the ready to pay list, where do they go?
They can go to our website. It's the abbreviation of InterHash. So it is IAH2027.com. That's it. We secured that website over a year ago, and it's up and running. You can register. You can also check out some information about us, the committee, the trails that we've done in the Central Florida area. There's some trails on there. We have not posted accommodations yet. That will be forthcoming. We are still working on that. We're now trying to secure a venue, and we want to make sure we've secured the venue before we post hotels. At any rate, no hotel takes reservations less than a year ahead of time anyway. It's okay that we don't have a hotel yet because we're working on the venue first as a priority.
One thing we didn't talk about details, anything about the beer and or other types of drinks, any brands or what covers?
Actually, not yet. But there is one other thing I want to talk about heading into that conversation, and it goes like this. Because our committee formed an LLC over a year ago, we were able to apply for a 501c3 in America. That means we are a tax-deferred charitable organization. To my knowledge, we don't usually get this at InterAmericas. I believe we're the first ones actually who did it. What this means is that we will host a red dress, and it will be the opening night, Friday night, a red dress with hopefully a dinner and beer, and any extra money and all the proceeds will go to our charitable fund, Back to Nature Wildlife Refuge. Because of this designation, we're hoping to get a lot more sponsors and people donating to us as far as beer and even food services, because it can be a tax write-off for them because we are designated a 501c3 charitable event.
Wow. Congratulations on getting that. Yeah, of course, Hashers Not Trashers got it, but big events, that's a great thing in the U.S. It's a state designation, so that covers you for like any Florida charity, basically.
That's right. We have it as a state designation and with our IRS. We are IRS tax deductible. We have our tax ID number. It took us more than 7 months to get that. But we are quite proud of that, actually. And that's one of the reasons we haven't approached some of the vendors, because now we can approach them as a charitable organization. Also, we have decided that a percentage of your RIGO fee will go to charity. Right now, we're looking at $2 of our RIGO fee will go to our charity. And that's what makes us a charitable event.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds like something that you just might get a lot of community support when they hear.
Hoping. That is exactly what we're hoping. We're hoping to bring the cost down and get people to donate to us, no matter what it is, whether it's time or money or donations in the way of food or beverage. Giles and Dora, a Patchwork Quilt and Mount Dora are both hashers that were on the 1995 Interam committee from Orlando, and they are on our committee now. And the things that they have keep telling me about, oh, we got it from the hotel. These are just not options anymore, really, unless we raise our budget completely up to $400 or $500. But we are trying not to do that.
Like we said, things have changed. The good news is, it sounds like that you've been doing a lot of work. A lot of people are already behind this bid for a long time. Website's up, payments will be ready. You guys are prepared, and you're going to be transparent. That's a big message I'm hearing.
Yep. And we have a lot of support, and we, no matter what, this event will go on, no matter what.
All right. Long live InterHash. Thanks for everything you do, Mammaries, and thanks for the passion that keeps these hashing events so everybody can get together and see each other.
I love hashing. I can't imagine ever living in a city where there's not a hash.
All right. On.
On.
To close the circle, here's the Hash Anthem sung by Mother Hash.
Sweet